So what else is going on?
So, question that you'd mentioned about referral to an EXP commercial. Is there a
Yes.
formality or just put it in work chat? I mean, I really don't like to go that path. I was thinking, was there anybody that wants to discuss these? Because before I ever became a real estate agent, I was in the technology world of business. So I've got a pretty substantial CRM of, can I call on people and say, hey, getting pretty close to retirement, you ready to sell?
Yeah, you certainly could do that. I mean, there's a lot of people that make a living off of referrals because they
I'd
don't
rather
want
do
to do
referrals.
transactions.
You don't have your insurance and all that other headache on the line. That's easier. That's easy money.
Yeah. And, once you've referred it, you just have to make sure that you have a good referral partner that follows up and actually works to get to a transaction, because that's the only way you're ever going to get paid a referral fee, right? If there's no transaction that gets done, then you don't get any benefit from that.
I receive referrals down other paths, and I call those easy marketing. I didn't have to do that part, which, almost half of the potential revenue from whatever business line it may be in. So maximizing if possible. So what's the process to being able to do a referral, if I can ask?
I mean, there's no real process. Just reach out. If you have a business owner that wants to sell, then you just reach out to a business broker and find out if they're interested in taking it on.
Okay. Post in the workplace
You
commercial?
can post it in workplace. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll get a lot of responses.
Well, how do you find who's someone working in Virginia? Is that possible or no?
You can, but you also, yeah, they don't have a list per se of business brokers in the states that they're in right now.
Okay.
We kind of started trying to put something together. So off the top of my head, I'm trying to think if I have anybody in Virginia. And I don't know. I know I've got people in the Carolinas.
Okay.
But Virginia is a non-licensed state. So like I've got a business right now in Virginia that I'm selling. So, if it's a non-licensed state and there's no real estate involved, then any business broker that's qualified that wants to work with the seller and can do that.
I've got a couple that I'm wanting to refer somewhere right now because the owners and senior managers have said 16 months to go, we're selling. You got to get started now. We can't do this in 15 and a half months.
Tanya?
Well, and it's a process, selling a business is a process, not an event. So if somebody wants out, like if somebody called me today and says, hey, I want to sell my business by the end of the year, so I'm sorry, I'm not the right person for that because there's no way. I mean, the fastest I've ever sold a business was 72 days from start to finish, but that is rare, and so on average, a business sale takes 8 to 10 months. I tend to do 6-month representation agreements because I try and do a lot of preparation up front so that we can get it sold within that 6-month period of time, shorten it a little bit. But it's still a process. I mean, you're not going to have a quick sale unless they want to take a drastic cut in terms of pricing. So,
Tanya?
Yeah.
I just wanted to add a couple things. First of all, to find the people to help you in a different state, what I've done is call the designated managing broker for EXP Commercial from that state, because they are also responsible for the business brokers with EXP in the state. So they know who's doing what. And so I had a case in Florida, and I needed somebody who's familiar with restaurants. We had a guy who just joined the company who was a real expert. So it was fairly easy to contact him and give him a referral and let him run with it. We're kind of on the sidelines. But the other thing I wanted to mention is how important it is within our company culture to have a written referral agreement. So you can't put a thing in workplace chat that says, okay, I'll pay a referral. That won't satisfy the company's requirements. They need documentation. And in my opinion, it should come from the person who's making the referral. So if you have people you're referring, it's on you to find the form and to fill it out and to sign it. And then your designated broker is supposed to sign it. And then the receiving agent and their designated broker is supposed to sign it. And then the company would be happy. And if you don't do that, then you're running the risk of maybe having a conflict in the future about the referral. What is the referral? What are the circumstances? How long does it last? How many deals are involved? And you just want to spell everything out that you need to spell out in writing.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on that are a little different because probably 9 out of 10 businesses referred to me are not ready to be sold and are not either that or they're not saleable, right? I mean, there's a lot of times that people refer businesses to me and they're upside down, they're losing money. Or, they've been in business for, 8 months or 10 months and decided that they don't like it. Or they are, they need a quick sale because their lease expires at the end of the year and the landlord is not going to renew it. And it's like, well, a quick sale, like I said before, they don't really happen. And then if you don't have a lease, depending on the type of business, that might be okay. But for many businesses, that's not okay. That business is not going to be saleable without a lease. So for all of those reasons, when somebody calls me and says they have a potential referral, my process is I want them to send me the contact information in an email so that the email comes from them. Then there's no dispute that they sent it to me. And then at the point in time, after I've contacted the seller, and I'm happy to have a conference call or a conference Zoom with them on if they want to be part of that initial. But at the point in time where the seller's ready to sign a representation agreement, then I do the referral agreement. And the reason I do it that way is because Dr. Bill said that according to the EXP handbook or whatever, any signed contract of any kind is required to be uploaded to SkySlope. So that means if you have a referral agreement, once the referral agreement is signed by the 2 agents plus the 2 managing brokers, now that's got to be uploaded into SkySlope and a SkySlope file has got to be created. And if that never even turns into an engagement agreement, which 9 out of 10 of them don't, then that's a whole lot of busy work going back and forth for absolutely no reason, because now it's got to be undone. So I think when it comes to real estate, tendencies are if there's a referral, that referral is usually good. Somebody either wants to buy property or they want to sell property, and that usually pans out. But because business, so oftentimes business is not saleable or whatever, I use a completely different process. So, but that's just me, but I'm just putting it out there.
That's what I do as well. I don't like to do the paperwork until I think there's a strong possibility of getting a listing or getting the listing. Then it's real. And otherwise you're going to be spending a lot of time. Because like you're saying, there are a lot of deals that aren't that real.
Yeah, I mean, I had an agent contact me the other day. She said she had a referral, and it was all by text. And so, I explained to her, she wanted to, she said my name wouldn't come up in the referral site. I said, because I'm not with EXP Realty, I'm with EXP Commercial. And so my name's not going to show up. And I said, that site, works, I think, just amongst EXP Realty agents. But ultimately she ended up, I explained to her the process and all that. And she ended up sending me a referral agreement anyways, which I still haven't signed because I still haven't had a conversation with the seller yet. And it's just like, I'll sign it when we get to that point. So, but I just don't, I'm not going to create extra work for myself in having to create SkySlope files and everything else at this stage because it's all premature. So, but that being said, if you refer somebody to a business broker, make sure you do it in writing through an email so you do have proof that you in fact did refer it. even if they don't sign a referral agreement, you know, because unfortunately, look, we all hope that we all want to work with ethical people. We all want to deal with ethical people. And we all hope that everybody we're dealing with within, you know, EXP is ethical. But the reality is there are some people that are not, and they'll take advantage of situations. And so, you know, if you give them a business owner, well, you give them a business owner's name, a seller's name and all that, and you don't have a signed referral agreement yet, they may choose not to sign it at some point in the future, which is clearly unethical, especially if you've already had the conversation. So make sure you put an email together, send them the contact information, and then whatever the agreed on commission was, you know, if they or referral fee rather, you know, if they said they give you a 10% referral fee or a 20% referral fee or whatever that number is, make sure that you have that documented as well, so that when it comes time to sign a referral agreement, you can at least, you know, you've already got something in writing, and you can then fill out the referral agreement correctly and try and have the broker sign that, and have the the state designated brokers sign it. It's a lot of people involved in a referral, so makes sense to do the paperwork only when you know it's actually going to be something.